if you want to play basketball at a high level, you have to study players who are doing exactly that. Today we're going to break down Mikey Williams' 46-point game in his return to San Diego. This was a really fun one to watch. I was able to be there live in person, which is always a good time. And then last night he was back in the gym. He currently does have an injury or a couple pretty serious ones, but he stays working, and that's why I'm always believing in his game and love to work with him. Shout out to his mom, who was able to get me a ticket to the game. We're going to go ahead and break this down just so that way you guys can learn exactly what he's doing well. And if you want to drop 46 in your next game, I highly suggest that you look at some of the stuff he's doing right. Obviously between him, Abdul, huge fan of him as well, and Trey Parker, we're going to go ahead and look at some of these players here and see what they're doing really well. Tough, good take. So one thing that we had talked about even yesterday, we're talking about him and something that he does better than some other players, is he's always looking to go into contact. You can kind of see here how he's throwing his body into contact, and obviously Mikey's so athletic that it makes it a little bit easier for him to kind of do that and hang in the air. But no matter what, we're still going to kind of see how even Abdul, who's smaller, plays with good pace, and Mikey's able to get into a lot of contact, and then what Trey does when he gets to the rim. But one thing I like about his game is that mid-range right there. That's a nice little pull-up, little right-left pop. He's got a really good ability to get to his spots and knock down those shots. But look how his hips are low on the catch. He's already he has his feet set immediately the moment he's already touching the ball. His eyes are on the rim, his hands are in the right position. He's shooting it before he even has the ball, if that makes sense. So as a shooter, you want to aim to be ready into that shot, or at least if you're loaded in that position, you can just look at the rim and then have a better chance to blow by. Tough. Okay, so if you remember in another breakdown we spoke about this, and this is what's really going to help you a ton, right? This didn't work out tremendously, but watch. You see that tuck, that football tuck, when you're splitting gaps? It makes it really hard for people to steal it. So he's able to get through. I mean, yeah, you can call it a foul, but he's able to get through, and somehow he was able to find Abdul here in the short corner. But you can split gaps like that. Now, the one thing that he could have done a little bit better, and this is going to help you, is when splitting that gap, let's try to aim to have a little bit of contact with your defender. So number 2, right about here, you want to tuck the ball just like he did, but also bump into number 2. So if he were to bump into number 2, that makes the gap wider. I had an Instagram video that actually went pretty viral talking about this exact thing, just how to bump and create a bigger gap than you actually have. So he tries to go through forward, right? And you can kind of see how they close it up and how their feet are almost touching as defenders. But if you were to bump into number 2 a little bit more, now that makes you have a bigger gap. Okay, so let's keep looking at what they're doing right. Well, he just his eyes, and he's pushing. Now, if you watched the beginning of this video and you saw when Trey split a gap with the tuck, what did I talk about? You have to hit your primary defender when you tuck the ball. So watch this. Boom, boom. Okay, right here. There's about to be a gap. Ready? Right here between 24 and this guy. So what does Mikey do? Bang. He bumps his primary defender so the gap is bigger. Look at this gap compared to the gap that we had with Trey in the beginning of this video. This is a bigger gap simply because Mikey bumped his primary defender. Okay, this is not a splittable gap, if that's even a word. But if you can bump your primary defender, you now create a gap that's a little bit bigger, and then he's able to get into this left-hand finish right there. But the gap opens up when you're able to hit your primary defender. What do you see here? Something we talk about all the time. Where's that ball? Up, right? And yeah, that could get blocked right there, but by bringing it up and he splits that gap nicely, he gets a slide-by finish. And I believe, so if you're in the academy, you're going to see that I taught slide-by finishes in one of the recent combo guard workouts. This is a pull-up right here. If you're a scorer, right here, if you're a scorer, watch this. Boom, little 2 dribble, wow, wow, right there. Why would you not look at the rim? You know, that's a pull-up jump shot right there, instead of passing it out. Not a bad pass, and he should have shot the ball too. A lot of things that just went wrong there, right? And we're just kind of analyzing the game as we go through. But that is a pull-up jumper. Little hesitation, 2 dribble, you got to pull that. Okay, let's go. This is not good footwork. We also spoke about this in the last breakdown too. But there's no need to do this little jump stop here. You should just go boom, right, left, shot. But why take your right foot off the ground again? That doesn't make any sense. Beautiful form, just clean up the footwork. Shoot a nice little 3 off that. So watch this. He rips past the defense going baseline where there's less help. And then see, he's kind of slows down a little bit here, and he's looking. He's not looking at the rim. He's looking at the pass. What this does is this forces the defender to not commit to you all the way, right? So he hasn't looked at the rim yet. He still hasn't looked at the rim until right about now, once he gets into the pop. So you see how 24 didn't commit all the way to Abdul? Is because Abdul wasn't looking at the rim. He was staring at the teammate who was standing at the basket, and then he's able to get a nice little lift. Look, it's almost zero contest. It's a good pull-up right there. Knock that down. There you go. But if we get another chance to see something like that too, like you'll see some guards who look at the rim and then make a pass, and then you'll also see some guards who look at the pass and then look at the rim, right? You can kind of almost see it right here too. So this is a ball screen, and we're going to get a hedge, right? So number 10 hedges the screen. All you got to do is just either split the gap, blow through their hip, or you can kind of space it out and get an ISO. But he goes right through his hip and goes around. Now you can kind of see the double team. So there's going to be a mismatch somewhere or an open player somewhere. So once he gets to the middle, where's he looking? Across the lane to see if there's a bounce pass available. Still hasn't looked at the rim yet because he's kind of looking at the spacing, right? This isn't good spacing between Mikey and his big. But then he's able to go up at the last second. And it's not a bad little floater either. Good kick. Great pass. Eyes are huge. Eyes are huge. Where is Abdul looking right now? Across the lane. Attacks the lane, looks across the lane. Boom. Does a beautiful bounce pass right there. Eyes are everything when you're a scorer, when you're a playmaker. And look at how many paint touches they're getting. Able to get their feet into the paint a ton. Eyes. Keep looking, keep looking. Beautiful feed. Really tough finish to get across the lane like that. If you understand pick and roll, it's probably like the most important action in all of basketball. Watch this here. So we have screen, right? What are we looking at? We're looking at screen. As soon as the defense takes a step on top of the screen, boom, that's when we get a little angle down below. So once Mikey gets past him, jumps into the help side. Where's that ball go? It's up. Boom, to the rim. Bringing that ball to the rim. Where are we jumping? Into defense, right? That forces the defense to have their hands collapse a little bit. And as we jump into defense, then we protect it like we talked about on the shoulder. Should this have been a left-handed finish? Yeah, sure, but he's kind of getting stuck under the basket. You know, I always like to work on both hands. But regardless, beautiful and one. Way to jump into contact. If you cannot make open shots as a small guard, you have no chance of playing the game at the next level. Okay, now, check this out too. Where are his feet? In the paint. What are you trying to do as a playmaker? Always try to get your feet in the paint. You can't create for anybody outside of the paint. Boom. Once his feet are pretty much right there in the paint, then you can create something. Kick out, kick out, extra pass, beautiful open shot. As a playmaker, as a scorer, you got to keep getting your feet in the paint. Okay, eyes. You see that? Look at the pocket. Comes off screen. Right there. Where's his eyes looking? At the roller. So what does that force 23 to do? You can't commit. You see how he gets a step on that? Boom. Oh, sorry, Siri. There you go. Gets a step on that. And we're able to find something out of that. Right? But it's just his beautiful understanding of the game. And where's the rush? Where's the rush? What? Who's in a rush? Definitely not Mikey. He's not in a rush. Boom. Eyes. 23 goes back to recover. Boom. Blow by. You had 3 defenders trying to stop Mikey on that one. Of course someone's going to be open. Beautiful baseline cut or a corner 3. Of course I like the cut and the dunk. But either way, even if you're not a strong finisher, that's still an open corner 3. And as a playmaker, if you were in Mikey's position there, when you come off a screen, you have to look back. You always want to look back to see if your screener is popping, if they're rolling. And it makes it harder for the defense to guard you. When you come off, boom, you peak, and then you're able to continue going. And I'm sure we're going to see stuff like that because this is high-level basketball. This was a great overall game. That was disgusting. But boom, in, out, so we get them good. And this is, look at this, left-right, which is exactly how you should do this. On the left side, beautiful left-right. He does prefer to jump right-left. This is a really good left-right. Brings that ball up. Could jump into contact more, but always going into contact no matter what. Right, good hang, able to get it up. Nice soft touch off the glass. Wasn't able to finish that one, but still, always jumping into contact. Able to protect that basketball. Beautiful reject. Such a tough move. So what are we seeing and why is this working, right? Bang. Nice crossover. Defense is kind of blown by a little bit. He recovers. But it's not even his recovery because look, right there, this is where you want to bump. Okay, right here is where you want to get a nice shoulder bump. The only reason that he doesn't continue moving forward is because it help side steps outside of the paint, which is really far for help side to come over. So instead, when we turn and bump, we're pushing the defense closer to the rim instead of pushing him to the midline, which is exactly what you want to do, because if you push him to the rim on this position, now you could turn and separate away from the basket, just like you kind of would on a step back. Beautiful turn, beautiful shot. Right, so, and let me explain that a little bit better. But in this instance, when you're right about here. Boom. Right about here. Now you want to about seek contact right there and bump and then finish at the basket. The only reason that he didn't, and he normally would bump and finish, is because you see help side step up. So he slows down, and this time he bumps defense towards basket and then shoots it away from basket. Right, so you could always bump side to side, or you can bump forward and then go backwards. Obviously, it's really hard to bump somebody behind you like that and then finish, but that's tough. I wouldn't teach that. That's tough. Kyrie normally will go over the top, but that's tough too, to go around the back like that. Great finish. This game, where's the ball? Always away from the defense. Always away from the defense. We're getting a shoulder bump on the ground, and you bump with the hips in the air. But shoulder bump on the ground, and then we're able to go up into that finish. Great and one, good clutch basket. Oh my goodness, let's learn from this too. You see how much I love basketball? Let's learn from this, right? I don't care who you are, but this is, boom, where's the ball? Towards the rim. And then we're able to draw some contact. Obviously he didn't, he got fouled because the defense jumped too early, right? The defense jumped a little bit too early. Like, the offensive player is kind of still on the ground, and the defensive player jumped into him also. But we're going into contact as much as we can, and then we protect the ball on the shoulder, and then we're able to put that shot up right there by the rim. Really, really well done. There's that pull-up we talked about earlier. I'm not sure if that was the same player. Good footwork on the right, left. There's the 2-dribble pull-up that you're looking at. That's a really good shot right there. Look at that. Look at that. That's an advanced scoring shot. Look at the Devin Bookers of the league. Guys who are really good scorers. Ooh, that's tough. Could have been a turnover. He's been hitting them all day. That's a good shot. And we're going to get free throws to kind of close it out. But I want you to see gaps. I want you to understand contact. I want you to be able to knock down open shots. I'm going to put, Mikey and Jada went through a whole workout together. I'm going to put some of that up. And then they had a whole shooting contest, a whole 100 shots shooting workout with each other, which is a good time. I'll put that up as well too. But the kid works, and it shows. You know, he had a 46-point game. And what's crazy is, even when we're looking at this footage, it didn't even look like he had a 46-point game, right? But I'm going to go ahead and let this one rock. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you like these videos, and we'll go ahead and put out more in the future for y'all.